Hello students, today we will talk about the leadership and then you will be able to understand meaning of leadership, characteristic and features of leadership, leadership styles and skills, importance of leadership, functions and types of leaders, transactional and transformational theories, qualities of leadership. Leadership is one of the key areas that affects motivation and productivity in business today and will make delegates aware of different management and leadership styles and the effect they can have on others. Successful managers are able to develop and use a range of management and leadership styles and to apply the most appropriate one for the task facing them. The management style chosen may also need to be adapted to fit with different teams and individuals, and this course will provide delegates with a range of management and leadership styles to employ in the workplace, plus the ability to judge which the best one to use.
There are thousands of books written on leadership skills. Hi, I'm Monica Kasurik, a life coach with Unlock Your Potential. How will you identify a good leader? Are you a good leader? We all have our opinions on what leadership skills are. We need to remember that we are all leaders, leaders of our life, leaders in our community, leaders of our family, as well as leaders in our workplace. But in the workplace, what are we looking for in our leaders? Well, there are some basic, simple characteristics that are absolutely unanimous across the board. Number one, good leaders are collaborative. People want to work with them, and they want to work with others to find the right solutions. Good leaders are team players. They're not out to shine, they're out to find the solution, the best solution for the company's problem. And they are also good at selecting a team that is going to be having all of the qualities that are needed for success. Good leaders are always looking to self-improve. It might be lessons learned from mistakes they've made, or it could indeed be additional courses that they take to continue and further their knowledge.
Definitions of leadership. Leadership, according to Alford and Beatty, is the ability to secure desirable actions from a group of followers voluntarily without the use of coercion. According to Chester van Bernard, leadership refers to the quality of the behavior of the individual whereby they guide people on their activities in organized efforts. According to Terry, a leader shows the way by his own example. He is not a pusher. He pulls rather than pushes. According to Coons and O'Donnell, managerial leadership is the ability to exert interpersonal influence by means of communication towards the achievement of a goal. In the words of R.T. Livingstone, leadership is the ability to awaken in others the desire to follow a common objective. According to the Encyclopedia of the Social Sciences, leadership is the relation between an individual and a group around some common interest and behaving in a manner directed or determined by him. Nature, characteristic, and issues of leadership. Leadership implies the existence of followers. We appraise the qualities of leadership by studying his followers. In an organization, leaders are also followers. Thus, in a formal organization, a leader has to be able to be both a leader as well as a follower and be able to relate him both upward and downward. Leadership involves a community of interest between the leader and his followers. In other words, the objectives of both the leader and his men are one and the same. If the leader strives for one purpose and his team work for some other purpose, then it is not a leadership. Leadership involves an unequal distribution of authority among leaders and group members. Leaders can direct some of the activities of group members. The group members cannot similarly direct the leader's activities, though they will obviously affect those activities in a number of ways. Leadership is a process of influence. Leadership implies that leaders can influence their followers or subordinates in addition to being able to give their followers or subordinates legitimate directions. Leadership is the function of stimulation. Leadership is the function of motivating people to strive willingly to attain organizational objectives. A successful leader allows his subordinates, followers, to have their individual goals set up by themselves in such a way that they do not conflict with the organizational objectives. A leader must be exemplary. In the words of George Terry, a leader shows the way by his own example. He is not a pusher, he pulls rather than pushes. According to L.G. Erwick, it does not what a leader says, still less what he writes, that influences subordinates. It is what he is, and they judge what he is by what he does and how he behaves. A leader ensures absolute justice. A leader must be objective and impartial. He should not follow unfair practices like favoritism and nepotism. He must show fair play and absolute justice in all his decisions and actions. Leadership styles and patterns. The manager makes decision and announces it. It is an extreme form of autocratic leadership whereby decisions are made by the boss who identifies the problem, considers alternative solution, selects one of them and then reports his decision to his subordinates for implementation. The manager sells his decisions. It is a slightly improved form of leadership wherein the manager takes the additional step of persuading the subordinates to accept his decision. The manager presents his ideas and invites questions. There is greater involvement of the employees in this pattern. The boss arrives at the decision but provides a full opportunity to his subordinates to get fuller explanation of his thinking and intentions. The manager presents a tentative decision subject to change. Herein, the decision is tentatively taken by the manager, but he is amenable to change and influence from the employees. The manager may present the problem, get the suggestions, and then take his own decision. Herein, sufficient opportunity is given to the employees to make suggestions that are coolly considered by the manager. The manager may define the limits and request the group to make a decision. A manager of this style of management lets the group have the right to make the decision. The subordinates are able to take the decision to the limits defined by the manager. The manager may permit full involvement of the subordinates in the decision-making process. It is often designated as democratic leadership. Leadership style refers to the behavior pattern adopted by a leader to influence the behavior of his subordinates for attaining the organizational goals. Leadership skill, human skill, empathy. A leader should be able to look at things objectively. He should respect the rights, beliefs, and sentiments of others. He should equip himself to meet the challenges emanating from the actions and reactions of other people. Objectivity. A good leader is fair and objective in dealing with subordinates. His approach to any issue or problem should be objective and not based on any pressure, prejudice, or preconceived notions. Objectivity is a vital aspect of analytical decision making. Communication skill. A leader should have the ability to persuade, to inform, stimulate, direct, and convince his subordinates. To achieve this, a leader should have good communication skill. Good communications seem to find all responsibilities easier to perform because they relate to others more easily and can better utilize the available resources. Teaching skill. A leader should have the ability to demonstrate how to accomplish a particular task. Social skill. A leader should understand his followers. He should be helpful, sympathetic, and friendly. He should have the ability to win his followers' confidence and loyalty. Conceptual skill. In the words of Chester Barnard, the essential aspect of the executive process is the sensing of the organization as a whole and the total situation relevant to it. The understanding of the organization behavior, understanding the competitors of the firm and knowing the financial status of the firm. Technical skill. A leader should have a thorough knowledge of and competence in the principles, procedures, and operations of a job. Technical skill involves specialized knowledge, analytical skill, and a facility in the use of the tools and techniques of a specific discipline. Technical competence is an essential quality of leadership. Personal skill. Intelligence. Intellectual capacity is an essential quality of leadership. Leaders generally have somewhat higher level of intelligence than the average of their followers. Emotional maturity. A leader should act with self-coincidence, avoid anger, take decisions on a rational basis, and think clearly and maturely. A leader should also have high frustrations tolerance. Personal motivation. This involves the creation of enthusiasm within the leader himself to get a job done. It is only through enthusiasm that one can achieve what one wants. Leaders have relatively intense achievement type motivational drive. Integrity. In the words of F.W. Taylor, integrity is the straightforward honesty of purpose which makes a man truthful, not only to others, but to himself, which makes a man high-minded and gives him high aspirations and high ideals. Flexibility of mind. A leader must be prepared to accommodate others' viewpoints and modify his decisions if need be. A leader should have a flexible mind so that he may change in obedience to the change in circumstances. Functions of a leader. He identifies group goals. A leader must always help the group identify and attain their goals. Thus, a leader is a goal setter. He represents the organization. A leader represents the organization and its purpose, ideals, philosophy, and problems to those working for it and to the outside world. He acts as arbitrator. When groups experience internal difference, whether based on emotional or intellectual clashes, a leader can often resolve the differences. To assign reasons for his action. It is a delicate task of leaders to assign reason to his every command. He has to instruct things in such a way that they are intelligible to all concerned and their cooperation is readily forthcoming. To interpret. He interprets the objectives of the organization and the means to be followed to achieve them. He appraises his followers, convinces them, and creates confidence among them. To guide and direct. It is the primary function of the leader to guide and direct the organization. He should issue the necessary instructions and see that they are properly communicated. To encourage teamwork. A leader must try to win the confidence of his subordinates. He must act like the captain of a team. He manages the organization. Last but not the least, he administers the undertaking by arranging for the forecast, planning, organization, direction, coordination, and control of its activities. Types of leaders. Types of autocratic leadership. A strict autocratic relies on negative influence and gives orders which the subordinates must accept. He may also use his power to disperse rewards to his group in which his quick decisions are needed. The benevolent is affected in getting high productivity in many situations, and he can develop effective human relationship. His motivational style is usually positive. Here, no requirement of others' input. A manipulative autocratic leader is one who makes the subordinates feel that they are participating in decision-making process even though he has already taken the decision. In autocratic leadership, here no need of team agreement. Participative or democratic leadership. A democratic leader is one who consults and invites his subordinates to participate in the decision-making process. He gives orders only after consulting the group, sees to it that the policies are worked out in group decisions and with the acceptance of group. Subordinates are capable of doing work and assuming the responsibility if they are given opportunities and incentives. Subordinates are supervised, guided, and aided rather than threatened and commanded to work. In democratic leadership, team agreement is needed. This style is used for the greater motivation and commitment for better acceptance of decision. Decision for leaders need for knowledgeable and skillful team members. Laissez-faire or free-rein leadership. A free-rein leader does not lead but leaves the group entirely to itself. The leader avoids using power and entrust the decision-making authority to his subordinates. He does not direct his subordinates, and there is complete freedom for the subordinates. When to use laissez-faire, free-rein style? When the team is highly capable and when the team member is able to analyze the situation, when close monitoring of a decision is not needed. This style is used when leader has full trust and confidence in the team members. Paternalistic leadership. Under this type of leadership, the leader assumes that his function is fatherly. His attitude is that of treating the relationship between the leader and his groups that of a family, with the leader as the head of the family. The leader works to help in work, guide, protect, and keep his followers happily working together as members of a family. Qualities of leadership: self-respect and respect for others. If we do not have a healthy self-respect, we would not respect others. If we do not respect others, they will not respect you. We cannot lead people who do not respect you. The ability to communicate effectively. Leaders say what they mean and mean exactly what they say. Effective communicators are far more persuasive than those who do not communicate well. Integrity and character. Leaders are not swayed by unsubstantiated opinions or unfounded rumors. Fame, power, or material gains do not motivate them. Leaders have integrity, that strength of character that resists assault. Having a vision, a mission, or a purpose, a sense of direction, and a clear set of goals. Moreover, they know that their job is not done when one set of goals is reached. Leaders know that life is a journey. Being grounded, leaders have a vision of what the world around them ought to be, but they are also pragmatic. Things will not always go smoothly, but leaders understand that and have the presence of mind to deal with that. Courage. Fear is a powerful motivator. It causes many of us to turn away from our goals when our belief in ourselves and our cause is not strong. Leaders are not fearless. Leaders make a conscious choice to act in spite of their fear. Persistence, commitment, and dedication. It is like they always say, winners do not quit and quitters do not win. Nothing worth having comes easily. When setbacks crop up, leaders do not flag because they always have their eyes on the prize. Humility. Leaders are not self-promoting or self-aggrandizing. They do not take all the credit. They give credit to others and refuse it for themselves. A sense of responsibility. Leaders are willing to bear the ultimate responsibility for their undertakings. They do not point the finger of blame when things go awry. Decisiveness. When action is called for, real leaders do not waffle. Knowing that a window of opportunity exists, the time to act is now. They act quickly and effectively based on the best available information. Summary. Leadership is a process of influencing on a group in a particular situation at a given point of time and in a specific set of circumstances that stimulates people to strive willingly to attain organizational objectives, giving them the experience of helping attain the common objectives and satisfaction with the type of leadership provided. Leadership style refers to the behavior pattern adopted by a leader to influence the behavior of his subordinates for attaining the organizational goals. The importance of leadership in an organization cannot be denied. People working in an organization need individuals, leaders, who could be instrumental in guiding the efforts of a group of workers to achieve goals and objectives of both the individuals and the organization. The subject of leadership is so vast and perceived to be so critical. There are 4 distinct approaches to leadership, viz. Traits theory, behavioristic theory, contingency theory, and charismatic theories of leadership. The dynamics of the relationship change when 2 people go from uncommitted companionship to making a lifelong promise in front of God and a few of their closest friends.